representative of those different interests is really important when you do archaeology work. Not disturbing pieces of a story that aren't your story.
All right. Here you go, Chad.
Let's get vertical.
Let's see some mud cliffs. You ready to rumble?
All right.
Way to keep finding these, Rennie. Nice work.
Well, you don't know what we didn't find because of me.
I'm just complimenting what we did find.
Rennie, just take the compliment.
Yeah.
I
Take
can't.
it.
I
Why
mustn't.
are you gonna be so negative? What is that thing?
Sponge? Where are you looking?
Oh, Aaron, zoom.
Oh,
That thing.
You're looking in the water column when we finally found a cliff. It is cool though.
Alright, now we'll go to cliff for Rennie's sake.
Okay. That is very small.
Don't often see anemones growing on black coral, but there was one back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Rennie, there's this thing in the water column that
Yeah.
Are you seeing this marine snow, Rennie?
We had 3 hours to see marines.
Hey, you see that 787 particle to the left?
Yeah.
Zoom in and enhance, please.
Detritus confirmed. Wow. Super cool.
Oh, look at that slump again. Little pile right down there, kind of like a chute.
So, Paul, just keep an eye on the mezzo there. You see that you're just getting a return. I think that you're not against it or anything. And it's also 20 meters out. But if that starts to become a harder hit, then...
So that dark blue, am I probably above that?
I think you're
Likely,
above it.
yeah.
It's just flat ground, but it is giving a return.
Got it.
There was a bit of a slope, but not the wall. You'd see it ring yellow if we were against
Bamboo
it.
skeleton?
Yeah. Is it bamboo?
Video pushing?
Yeah, so that's a great example of why you don't see a lot of living corals here.
there-
That did happen to grow for a little bit, but
Are
eventually
there
it failed.
Bamboo?
Yeah.
Are you I don't.
It has internodal branching.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks like
Articulated.
the bones of your hand.
Yeah. Okay. There. I see
Coral.
it. I thought that those were just specks of. They're really long bamboo segments, though.
Is that the
Surprising.
Acanella?
Boom.
It might be because
Potentially.
it's branched.
Yeah, it's branched.
We just have to get away from the ROV behind us.
Clouding things up.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at this.
Look at
vertical.
this banding. This is so cool.
I'm gonna come up a little bit more.
Yep. Yeah, bubble's a pretty neat perspective. Ignore the bubble and bubble.
Yeah. That's what you're seeing on channel 3 if you're watching on the quad channel in that lower left. It's the downward facing camera just off the front of the porch, so long way to fall if you drop your keys.
Yeah, these levels. Go ahead, Dayla. The science one or ours? Power cycle. Roger. Hey, Greg.
Yeah.
Can you power cycle the O2 sensor as long as the scientists are okay with that?
Yes, just fine with that.
Data lab nav. Power cycled.
Man, it seems like such a vertical,
Yeah.
flat cut.
You want to do bubble to the arm?
That is just bizarre.
What a cool structure. Yeah, the undercut is interesting there.
Yeah.
Like there's
Yeah.
a weaker layer underneath. Makes me
Yeah.
wonder if that's how
Yeah,
some of
it's all
these
this-
collapses happen.
All
Yeah.
this layering.
There's this site we scuba dive in Monterey Bay called the Shale Beds. It's very similar to this. It's differentially eroded shale.
Uh-huh.
Just different densities over the eons when it was compacted, and so it produces these cake layers, but also these undercuts.
Huh.
And they provide great refugia for rockfish.
Right.
And when you know, storm surge comes in, there's a lot of them that hide under there.
Mm-hmm.
Lobsters as well, too, yeah?
Not here, at least I haven't seen any lobsters there. Although now we're starting to see them. There's been a lobster at Point Lobos, several at the breakwater. It's just going to crumble away.
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, good. A little stuck in there.
It's like a clay.
Huh.
It is like a clay, huh?
Wow.
You can even see the color difference there. So
I would
really
recommend
clear
having to
it's like
stop, but I would do try and do a push core if we wanted to get a bunch of this. But we would have to, we wouldn't be able to do it on the go.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to do
Yeah,
that. Go.
no.
Okay.
If you want, we could stop now, and then in 200 meters, Hercules will be able to sample something. So.
But just to clarify, when you stop, I mean it adds a lot of time to the transect, right?
Yeah.
Or to the dive.
Yeah. Takes a bit of time.
That's all right.
If you get
I
far
know it's hard
ahead,
to figure out.
can I just come and turn around?
I
as
don't want to
pass
add
over?
30 to
Is that
60
by
minutes
enough time?
to the dive.
Sometimes, but it's the risk of if it doesn't.
Yeah.
Right.
Then you're dragging, and you can't really back up that fast, and then you'd just be sailing for a while until we could get sorted again.
Right.
We've been getting great visual time though, but it is it's a trade-off for being able to sample and explore these
An
cliffs.
enemy on the black coral.
Yeah, there's another one.
yeah.
But you see these cliffs and you just want to explore them, but you can't.
What's the challenge with being this deep? Is that starting and stopping controls to Argus take quite some time, right?
Yeah, we're
Argus positioning.
we're 200 meters behind the ship.
Yeah.
So even if we stop the ship now and started to come back, Argus will still swing at least 150 meters forward and then go back,
Which is kind of amazing. Like, think about a couple football fields, right? And
Right, but if you
Yeah.
look at it from actual 3,000 meters under the ship and 150 back or 200 meters back,
it's tiny.
it's just a tiny little
So
angle.
it's a couple degrees maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's why when we winch up, it's not like we're like, oh, we're trying to winch up, but we can't go because it's a hypotenuse.
Was that
it's
a
really
glass
very
bottle
close.
to the left?
To the left?
Left top if you turn back briefly.
Yes,
It
it
was.
is.
Wow.
What is that?
Nice
Beck.
eyes, Jamie.
I'm going with Beck's.
Oh, it's a
Heineken?
Dos
Yeah.
Equis.
Whatever
I
has
would
a
do
silver
Beck's.
label
Not
on
a
the top.
sponsor.
Yeah. I don't know what the silver label is. Wow, it really goes straight down.
Wow.
We're pretty safe with Argus if you want to go
Yeah.
down a little.
It's crazy. What a cool sight. Love this.
You want to try for it?
No, hang on, we're slipping. Slid right down the cliff face.
Yeah, I think perching when you're that far ahead is gonna be
Yeah,
difficult.
it's a challenge.
Wow. What is that ahead? Oh, it's just that little bit, that little
Yeah, it's
notch.
that bump out.
Looks like a little bite taken out of that
Yeah,
section
there
just
it
below
is.
us.
Whoa.
Yeah, it goes straight down.
Yeah,
Wow.
that is just amazing.
Crazy.
Alright, but I'm gonna head over and down some.
Yeah. What's your heading, Argus? Is 355, 345?
345, yeah. 340.
So that, and we're going 05 to 12. Yeah, we should be fine. We'll be clear in Argus, so. And we're already well off the wall, so can go down a bit.
I think I can come down a little bit and bring my heading to face
Yeah,
the wall.
Yeah.
So we think these are clay, just cemented sediment or compacted sediment cliffs. We don't have a perfect explanation, but we are not seeing basalt anywhere here. We're not seeing volcanic forms, at least within these top layers that we can really see.
Yeah, no basalt mixed in the layers, and there's
Yeah, we
errant,
have that one errant piece of basalt.
just strewn somehow.
Yeah, trying to understand. We're moving along this track, hoping we may find some deep sea corals and sponges, but in big concentrations. But in those cases, they would be on some of those harder substrates. So very possible. Maybe we'll encounter some a little bit later, but none so far. None on the landscape so far.
So just keep track, Paul, now that you can see just the edge of that wall is a bit stark, but now we're facing 315, which means we're going, should be fine the way that the vessel's moving. It'll go.
Well, I'm going to slide over to see if I can find that red spot.
I think that's probably what we saw is that cliff. I would be very surprised if there was more cliff.
I would be too, but I figure we're here.
Gotta do it.
Might as well check it out.
I brought my heading back over, by the way.
Yep.
Heading
Thank
back
you.
over.
Interesting questions coming in about infrared or night vision.
Science, and I've kind of lost visual of the bottom. I'm just going to make a quick jaunt this way to see if this cliff is real or whether it's what we just saw.
Heat sensing, anything like that. Because we're down in the deep sea and everything is cold, heat sensing doesn't really work down here. We would just be seeing sort of uniform temperature. We also have our cameras and lights are configured for great video for the fact that we collect a lot of video data and we want people to be able to see along with us. There are low light cameras and they can capture some really beautiful things about bioluminescence.
I would agree with you, Rennie.
Yeah, I just think the amount of contours that would have accounted for versus how many we know this plane is and that plane.
Yep.
That's probably just that one cliff.
Aren't really using those kind of tools. How old is this seamount, science team?
It last erupted 9.8 million years ago. That's some radioisotopic work.
Is your mic by your mouth?
Did.
Sorry, Chad, I can't really hear you.
Oh, I'm off mute. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I can hear him.
A little better.
All right. Davidson seamount is 9.8 million years old. At least that's when it last erupted, so it's older than that.
All right. Youngest parts of an old seamount.
It's one of those double octocorals.
Yeah.
And which way is land from here, Chad?
It is due east.
Perfect.
And for reference, we are facing north.
Yes, if you look right out of your ROV today,
On your right.
On your right is land, 50 so miles away.
I think that may have been the end of that cliff. We're not
On
really
your
seeing
left.
much of it more in Argus or,
Japan.
There's something.
yeah. Well, we saw some cliff.
That was awesome.
We've done stuff like this before, but we've
3
definitely
octopus?
done something like a, at one point you grab the push core and then you go race ahead and then you take the push core, if it's hoping it's sticky enough, race ahead and then stow the push core.
Do you ever have one person sample and one person fly?
Yes, but that is, considering we do a ton of training, it's kind of rare in this case.
Yeah, you have to like
Video
two
push
pilots.
in?
Yeah.
Two people capable of the arm and whatnot. There it is again.
Hmm.
Really weird.
That is bizarre.
There's the other one, video wide. Oh, there it is. Just out of reach. Okay.
I think you're gonna start going 012.
It's not a super drastic heading change. Yeah, you see that's just sediment that we have on the vehicle. So something that we can do, yeah, prior to changeover is kind of a up and down shake. Which is super useful so long as you don't actually hit the seafloor.
That's so nice. Tidying up the vehicle. Hand it back.
Well, nobody ever wants to turn over a dirty vehicle.
Valet service.
They charge you extra on the rentals. Okay, cleaner.
What a cool few hours. Like, we've had a lot. We had this was a little bit flatter overall. We had at first that super steep, you know, kind of like Alice in Wonderland world where it looked like a flat sedimented basin, but was super tipped on its side. We found pinnacles, Indiana Jones,
Yeah, we had
features,
some highs and some lows.
some highs, some lows. 3
Video, let's
octopus,
push in.
4 octopus. this looking thing.
Hey, Chad.
Yeah.
So right now we're heading towards
Love it.
up here.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe we
Yeah,
should
let's
try to go lower and then see if we can acquire it.
I'm totally game
If
for
there is
that.
a if there is indeed a wall. It's just really hard to say. Because especially with them being so vertical, you could be, that's what we've been doing. We're
Yeah,
either on
lots
one
of
side or the
beaches.
other side.
Yeah.
And you're too far away with it from the ROV to, might as well start low. I'll go a little bit further and then I'll readjust.
We have seen some evidence here of slumps, or kind of these little slope failures as you're right along the slope wall. You can see the kind of terracing where it looks like there are stripes in the wall, but you can also see sort of pyramidal shapes where it looks like, I don't know, it just looks like if you pushed sort of a pile of sand over, you get a rounded front and then a slow sloping pyramid up to it. So as those slopes fail,
Do a DVL reset.
all that mud and sediment is tumbling down and making a little pile of its own. So we did see a few of those kind of funnel shaped.
Jamie?
We don't have a way to know how.
Did a significant DVL reset.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have a way to know how long ago those were without just by visually looking at them. But there'd be a few ways to sort of tackle that question. You know, you might be able to, if there are animals you could age, you could look at who's living there and figure out at least a constraint that it's probably not older than a certain date.
Kelp?
Yep.
Video push in. We have a kelp specialist.
Yeah, this is your moment.
Well, some sort of golden algae.
I was going to say, we really should set you up, Chad. What is it? Wow,
I know,
neat.
right?
What is it? Tell us.
Definitely not macrocystis. Yeah.
It's pretty cool to see an urchin sitting right on top of it, grazing.
Yeah, so, you know, some of these, like Amity just said, laminaria type of algae, they're very thick and more resistant than other types of algae, and that could be a reason why it survived all the way down here.
Do animals need special enzymes to eat it, or what are the reasons why they can't eat it?
I'm sorry, say that again?
What makes them, I guess, so tough?
Oh, just their thickness.
Okay.
Yeah, they're thicker than your typical blade of algae in the sea.
And I would also say a lot of these animals down here are specialized for different types of feeding than grazing. They don't typically get kelp, so they don't have the feeding apparatus like, say, most intertidal organisms have.
Yeah, not a lot of toothy
Yeah,
grazers.
exactly.
Coming up.
So 2 hours from now, we will have completed our POP sampling.
Awesome. What does your sample processing time look like? So when you head home from the expedition, I mean, walk us through that. Is it days, weeks, months?
Well, it's so these samples will be
Jamie, there's one of those yellow things
processed
again.
in the laboratory with
Video
another
pushing.
batch of samples that are being collected now. And it's a very involved analytical and data validation
look
process.
worm-like.
So
I do not know.
usually it's about 4 months from the time that the samples get to the lab when we begin getting data. So
Wow.
yeah. So it's not just, you know, throw them in the oven and
It looks like
turn it on, and
its mouth might be
come
coming
the
out of the
numbers.
left end, so it
I agree.
might be a cucumber.
Do you think it's a cucumber, not a worm?
I don't know. I was thinking worm of some kind.
It is bizarre.
It's a weird yellow color for a worm.
Highlighter
Though.
worm.
Chad, it looks like for reference, we will have covered 2.5 kilometers on our watch.
Not too shabby.
Yeah, pretty good.
Way to go, team.
What was the start time for the pop sampler?
Yeah, that was at 22:38 UTC.
Thank you.
I feel like this is a very much like you never know what you're gonna get kind of watch that we've had.
Yep.
And we're seeing there's so much of this just general sedimented
I don't
texture.
see anything that matches that little.
No, I think that's an artifact. That doesn't look real to me.
Aaron, go.
Ooh.
Pretty.
Yep, pretty jelly.
Oh, 1804, very nice.
Maybe, yeah.
Got it with thrusters. Oh, I didn't chop it up. I just pushed it.
Okay, Rennie. Is this effort part of what gives Google Earth mapping of the ocean floor, or is all of Google Earth mapping done from satellites?
So the work we're doing right now currently with the ROVs is just exploration, but the mapping that informed it is using multi-beam sonar, and eventually ships like ours, the data that is collected via multi-beam will inform things like Google Earth, Google Maps, but a large majority of what you see on Google Earth currently is satellite altimetry. But you'll note it
Video pushing.
if you look in and you see some lines of higher, what looks like higher resolution seafloor. Those are often multi-beam tracks or surveys. But even that isn't the highest resolution. If you want to crawl in, you can try to find that data online. NCEI is a good one, National Center for Environmental Information. That's a great one for US EEZ maps.
Thanks.
So a lot of multi-beam data that's been collected is hosted on there. Globally, there's GMRT. You can look up GMRT and get some of the most up-to-date multi-beam coverage.
I'm assuming you wanted to be on SPL.
I looked down because I saw you looking over at me, and I looked down. I knew I was on. Bridge nav. Can we change the ship track to 045? Thank you.
What speed we've been doing? About half a knot.
I'm going to recommend that the next watch holds position there, gets rid of this layback here, and then it approaches this with less layback so then they can explore and stop and then continue on after that. I think if plus, you know, a new watch comes in and you got so much layback, you kind of want to like...
And Paul, you need to come up.
Got it. It'll only slow them down by a little bit.
Hey, Herc.
Yeah.
Can we zoom on the next sea pig that we come across? Might be a while, but just if you see one.
That's really good.
Oh, that's really
I can hear it out there.
Wow.
There must be one nearby.
Must be one near. We should try to get the lasers on it, I think.
Fail.
What did you say, Rennie?
Stand by.
I said I think we should try to get the lasers on it.
We might be able to find it with the sonar, though.
Yeah, the one that we just heard.
Oh boy.
All right, welcome to 15 minutes left to watch.
Yeah.
Right.
I was like, make your coffee faster.
This is what happens when you stare at mud for too long.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I feel like we're a very mellow team.
Yeah.
Well, it is 11:47.
Yeah, yeah.
And those tantalizing drive-bys of cliffs that you can't do anything about.
Mm.
Oh, there it is, and
Oh,
there it
there it
goes.
It looks so
That's
fun.
nice, huh?
Yeah.
It's part of the cost of it, but I think trying to cover ground is a good call, especially on exploration like this.
For sure.
You know what you can come back to. That's what we were doing when we found the octopus
What's
garden.
that thing in the bottom right corner just went off screen?
Bottom right?
The CQ, or bottom left, excuse me, pretend I know which direction.
It's got a little trail.
Is
Yeah.
it carrying a sponge?
I don't know.
Video push in.
I have so many questions.
Oh, it's a
Oh,
cute.
yeah, cucumbers.
Two
cucumbers.
cucumbers, and
Cucumbers.
what are you?
Seabiscuit?
So,
Seabiscuit.
oh, no, it's an
Oh.
urchin.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if
So
they're all
two
buddies.
cubes and an urchin walked into a bar.
It's a chariot with two horses.
Yeah, that was my thought.
You should see the pyramid they're building.
Here they've figured out inclines.
And very good on slope.
So this dive expected to last about 24 more hours. Lots of exploration left to do, weather pending as
Yeah, how
always.
much,
So stick around. There are
much have we
lots more
traveled?
opportunities to send in your
Total.
questions and hang out with our team.
2.5 kilometers.
what about the other watch?
Don't know.
I mean, like, how
Not
about
very competitive. I wouldn't ask. I wouldn't know.
Certainly was not 2.5 kilometers.
Yeah, we got a lot.
Coke can?
Oh, that'd be
Video
awesome if it was
push.
a tab can.
Yep. Classic.
Coca-Cola.
Oh, man.
I am
What?
blown away by how many, like, drink cans we've had in bottles.
Soft drinks.
Yeah. Beck's beer, not a sponsor. I feel like usually it's more plastic that we see.
I don't have EDU.
No, I don't either.
Something.
We can't talk to you. Oh, wait. This one does.
Yeah.
So there are no people inside the ROVs. They are remotely operated vehicles. All the voices you're hearing, we are all up in a control room up on the ship, up on the top deck of the ship. This allows us to, in just about 5 minutes, trade out with another team. They've been getting some rest. We will go get some rest and continue this around the clock.
Although I do like the idea of us sliding down a fireman's pole down to the sub.
The sub?
Yeah.
And putting on our rocket pack to shoot back up.
Yeah. Oh, that's a full one, holothurian. It's very clear.
Yeah.
Very little.
Galloping along.
Yeah.
It's gone. There's Gabby, one of the Argus pilots, and I were joking about that question specifically about where are the, because even when we give a tour of vehicles and people see the front of the vehicle, they ask, you know, well, where are the pilots?
Yep.
How do the pilots fit in the vehicle? And so we came to the conclusion that we have a shrink ray, and the pilots go in the camera dome. And that we accidentally turned the shrink ray on the new vehicles, and that's why they're tiny.
No.
That's pretty good.
Somebody called it Baby Hercules today, and I was like, no, let's not let that stick.
Vargas.
Argus mateys.
We had Vargas. We put, we had Vargas and we had Dargus. Vargas was when we put both HD cameras on Argus. We were going for like the full kind of 360. I guess not full 360, but like a wide angle view. And the Argus pilot, and then we were towing just Argus, but the Argus pilots were so used to piloting off of that screen that we actually ended up going through the water sideways. Like crabbing through based on the one camera they were used to looking at.
Creatures of habit.
And then Dargus was because we used to have Diana, which was a towed side scan. And
Good morning, Scott. Oh, these amazing
Diana
rock
was
formations. I mean, well,
Argus,
they're sort
it
of
was
not
called
rock,
Argus.
but they're just these huge, tall cliffs that
that?
are very friable. They just kind of crumble away with the manipulator. It's bizarre.
That?
Yeah. What is that?
It's a coral.
Is that?
Stomach
so.
sponge.
Maybe, or slumped to expose the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this a single black coral in the middle of nowhere?
Looks like it.
Lonely. It's so lonely.
Video pushing. Well,
Right,
there is that type of black coral that does
Can we get a
well.
good shot of the base of that black coral if it's possible?
Sure. Yep. Video full wide.
I'm coming down a little bit.
Hey, Jen.
Aaron, hit it. Might be a rock under
Yeah,
there.
it looks like
that's what it looks like. It's on a rock.
I was like, why would this be? Yeah.
Yep.
Just luck of landing.
Yeah.
Hello.
It's a sea pen.
Yeah, right.
Pen, yep.
All right, full
All
wide.
right, thanks for that.
Yep.
Coffee smells good. Yeah, right. it's yeah.
Coming back up.
Yep. I'm gonna come over.
Starting to get more on the mezzo on Argus.
That was because you came down, and that's just a soft upslope.
Okay.
What's your heading? Yeah, so that should be all upslope.
I don't believe you. Hello. Occasionally, yes.
So actually, it's been way more interesting than I anticipated.
Are you there, Mukta? So the POP sampler will be done at 8:38 UTC. Okay. So I'll tell Jen, but you may need to remind people. Is that okay? Thank you.
Thought my mic was also mute. Dane, to remind them to turn it off at 8:38.
8:38. Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay.
Okay.
I like the precision of that 8:38.
Yeah.
Symmetrical. Lots of eights.
That's 10 hours.
We've only seen a rat. Just very close to getting it done. For that. So before that, we just want to go as fast as possible. We will only stop if there's a lot of production to be made. But he's like, we can do some maximizes speed is minimizing the number of turns that the ship makes. They can make small turns and it won't really affect anything, but it's just because it takes 15 minutes for that turn to affect Argus, and then it can swing out a little bit more and slow things down because it's so much weight bearing down on the ship. So, but we've made a couple turns. It's not a big deal. I think we basically made up a lot of it.
So, but you said we're coming down.
Hello, science.
Hi, we're here.
Hi.
Oh, he's talking to them.
Yeah, because we missed that last corner. We had just started seeing those cliffs and we cut it a little short. Right, yeah. But, okay. So I think that like that plan, stop there, let everything. Yeah, you can slow down. Stop there, the vehicles will catch up. Hopefully you can get some walls in there, and then we're going to head north along this, and maybe we'll be able to follow a little bit better because we won't be laid back so far. We'll be right under the ship. It's going to take a little bit of time. No, but we made up a lot of time there, looking at how much we have left. Yeah, we covered all. Shouldn't be a problem reaching the end. And between here and the next waypoint, there's as much as that, like 200 meters away back. There's not the higher slope in terms of the interpreted data, but we just hit a bunch of cliffs and.
Well, just turn Argus to face that slope.
Yeah, absolutely.
As much of it is there.
So some really cool stuff. But just not a lot of hard rocks. So only a couple of bamboo skeletons that didn't last long. Okay, good luck, everybody.
Mm-hmm. Whatever. Sure. I'll put an album on if you want, up to you.
Hey, science team and data.
Yes.
Actually, let's let it go until 9:30, so the pump can be turned off about 09:30 UTC.
Okay. So that's in about 2.5 hours.
Yeah, 2.5 hours. Yeah, great.
Okay, so sorry to interrupt, but quick check. Rennie suggested we stop the ship here and wait for the vehicles to catch up so we can explore this potentially high slope area. Does that sound good?
That sounds good.
All right, then I'm going to stop us now.
Okay.
All right, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. This is Scott Simon. I'm the Science Communication Fellow. Welcome, Nautilus Live Nation.
Who do we have in with us tonight?
Yeah, let's go around and give everybody a good morning greeting.
You know,
I start with Ashley.
Hi, I'm Ashley. I'm on video. Good morning.
Intros? Hi, I'm Jess Sandoval, sitting Argus.
Was I just going to shoot? Getting dragged behind here.
While Mike gets situated, I'm Aaron Heffron, navigator.
Good morning, Aaron.
The ship is stopping up now, isn't it?
Yeah, the ship is stopping. You are very, very far behind.
How are you doing this morning, Magda?
I'm good. This is Magda Flores. I'm a data logger.
I'm Annie Hartwell. I'm a scientist.
And I'm Jennifer Brown. I'm also a scientist,
Where's
and
Argus
I'll be our
going?
watch lead for this watch. Good morning, good midnight, everyone.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Now the 16th.
Can't quite call it morning. I mean, just becoming, but we got a big almost full moon out there, so doesn't feel like morning yet.
No.
It's my partner's birthday.
All right. Well, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Annie's partner.
Didn't you just get engaged, Annie?
I did just get engaged.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Wow.
And then I
Just
left
now?
over his birthday.
Just now.
Just now. This is it.
It's quite a birthday present.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Then you left.
Yeah.
Nice.
Don't want to get too comfortable.
Yeah, right. Well, you know, gotta keep them on their toes.
Well, we are in Monterey Bay National Marine Sanctuary, exploring the Davidson Seamount. We are on the southeast apron. I have a question.
Okay.
Is the reason we're seeing sediment because this is the California side, and yesterday you were on the Japan side of the mount, so more bare rock? Actually, I don't know if this is a correct analogy, but Davidson Seamount is a very large seamount, and the Octopus Garden sat on a small, for lack of a better word, hill. It was made of volcanic rock off gosh, my bearings here, southeast, thank you, of Davidson Seamount. And now we are on the southeast slope of Davidson Seamount. So we traveled across a valley, basically, that exists between the Octopus Garden and the seamount. So just coming on, I was informed that this seamount seems to be this slope seems to be very sort of sedimentary or clayey, and I was told to watch for a cone feature that should be coming up soon. So after we get situated and caught up, we'll see what we will see. Again, this is never seen before seafloor. So if you're joining us live bright and early today, should be up for an exciting adventure here.
Yeah, we have been, this last dive and this dive will be on the same side of Davidson Seamount. So, and we're actually slightly closer to the seamount proper than we were on our earlier dive when we were looking at the octopus. So we've always been on the southeast apron. And now we're
Zoom in there, video.
we're looking at areas of this apron that have, from the mapping, look to be kind of have some change in terrain, possibly change in bottom type.
All right, full wide.
The watch earlier did find some cliffs that were actually pretty steep and very interesting. We might have some more of those coming up in front of us pretty soon. So we're prepared to look at those a little more closely and then keep moving on along kind of this apron feature, hoping to find places where there might be some more of that kind of rubble in addition to these softer sediments.
Can we take a minute just talk through where we are, ops, for a little bit?
Yep.
All right,
Go
so
for it.
if you could see high pack. I know it's really hard to see with all the targets, but we are right there. They've made pretty good progress since the start of the dive. The center cone's way up at the end of the dive, Scott, so I don't think you're going to see it, but I guess anything could be possible.
Well, Megan lied to me then.
She was just telling you on the next watch.
Yeah.
After this watch. Can we see if that's a
taunting.
rock right there? Or
Yep, second I'll get closer to it. There's a rock and an enemy and a whole gang.
So, yep. So
Go ahead, video.
Sorry, Aaron, I want to pay attention anytime we see some rocks.
Oh, no, absolutely, yeah, interrupts away, it's fine.
Pretty.
Oasis in a sea of sediment.
Because it's possible if we start seeing more of these rocks, they will have fallen from somewhere that has maybe more rock.
Like a cone.
All right, full wide.
Okay, thank you. Okay, go ahead, Aaron.
Advice from the last watch was to depend more on the slope map than the contours for looking for interesting features. So we're going to try that game for a while.
Is the slope map the color?
Yeah.
The colors we're seeing here instead of the contours? Okay.
Yep. So the pink was, I think, everything over 30. I think that's what I made it. So they're the highest slopes.
Can we zoom in if that's more trash also? And I'll keep listening.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Yep. It just seems to kind of be a bunch of soda cans or cans, like little breadcrumbs along our...
Can't tell what that is.
Maybe like beans or something, like an aluminum can maybe that you keep foodstuffs in, canned food. Thank you.
Something.
Yeah, been there a while. Okay, so Aaron?
Right. Full wide.
So we've held position over this area of potential high slope with the ship. We're also holding position because the nature of how deep we are, the vehicles were laid back 200 meters. So that makes it very difficult if we do see anything to do anything about it. So as we sit here with the ship, we're going to let the vehicles come back underneath the ship. That will give us the opportunity to explore this potential high slope area, continue around this bend and do the same here before we start kind of tracking a line and making kind of forward progress again.
Okay, that sounds great.
Cool.
All right, I've been asked to tell a science joke. So this is going to be audience participation science joke. So I'm going to put it out there to Nautilus Live Nation. Does anybody know what a dromedary is? Anybody know what a dromedary is? Type in your answer.
And to the pilots, we want to get maybe down to the...
Zoom in their video.
We want to be down slope from the kind of this pink area so that we would then travel up exploring it. Is that right?
Yeah, we can go for that for sure.
What's the best way for...
Yeah, if you want to explore it for sure, we would start lower and go up.
Okay.
Yeah. Full wide, please.
All right, so I got to
assume, I don't know, but I assume we'll settle in here. We can go up there. Yeah.
So we do have a response. You're right. It is a camel. Dromedary means to walk, hence camels walk across the desert. Anna means both ways, the scientific form, not our lovely